What is up, friends, and welcome back to my channel. In Monday's video we went through my entire arm routine. In today's video we're going through my entire legs and ab routine. So sit back, relax, as always, get your asses ready to learn. Again, before we start this video, disclaimer, all of the warm-ups mobility work is going to be in a separate video by two separate people in the description down below, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a voiceover. By voiceover, I just mean I'm going to record this clip, take out the video and just use the audio. As you can tell, it's late at night and the lighting is pretty terrible, so I'd much rather you see more nice lighting and videos of me working out than of this. I'm not pretty at the moment, so let's cut the video and let's go. So, just like last video, we start off with our compound movement at the beginning of the exercise. Now, in terms of what I do for a warm-up, just before we actually get onto the compound movements, I do maybe 5 or 10 minutes of a relatively high intense jog on the treadmill, and then I do some mobility work and some stretching afterwards, depending on what muscle groups I'm working. After that we go into our compound movements, which is what we're doing here. Starting off with squats with, I think that's 102.5 kilos on the bar at the moment. Considering my body weight at this point in time was about 60.5 kilos. I'm really happy with my strength at the moment. Whilst on this cart I'm actually managing to maintain quite a bit, and I'm doing that because I'm staying relatively heavy with my compound movements. Some tips for this exercise. Foot placement is all relevant down to you. I do a medium to sort of narrow stance. I know a lot of people will struggle with that and do a sort of wider stance. You can do that. It just works different areas of your legs. Again, the whole reason I'm wearing a belt is because it helps create that internal belt around you and really stabilise your core. As you can tell, if you're squatting, I like to hold my breath the whole way down. So as you can see on certain reps, I'm coming up, taking a breath in, and then coming back down. And I'm not breathing out on the way up, I'm breathing out as soon as I get to the top of the rep. This is because you want to keep your core tight the whole way through the movement so your back doesn't arch down one bit. That can start to cause some lower back pains and really take focus off your legs. So we do 4 sets of 8 reps on that. We then move on to some incline leg press. I do 4 sets of this. I start off with, I think, 150 kilos on the machine. And I'm going 4 sets with 12 reps. Again, if you take a look at this exercise, it's the exact same as what a squat would be. It's just more supported. If you're doing a leg press, stand up and do a squat straight away and you'll see it's the same movement. But this just allows you to go a little bit heavier. And because I do a bit of a wider stance with my toes pointing out on the squat, I like to do a more narrow stance with my legs facing up to hit different muscle groups. Obviously, the way that I do my squat, I target more of my hamstrings and my glutes because of the wider stance, and I go for a narrower stance on the incline leg press to target more quads. Again, with my squats, I like to involve as much muscle groups as possible. If I was trying to focus it more on quads, I'd go have a bit narrower stance and I would lighten the weight just to compensate for my form. After we've done that, again, the last set of my incline leg press, I actually did 170 kilos, so I bumped it up, 12 reps on that. We then move on to our first isolation movement of our leg workout, which is the quad extensions. Now I'm actually loving this movement at the moment. I think I'm doing 46.25 kilos on this at the moment. Again, 4 sets of 12 reps. Again, my knee is just coming over the actual pad by maybe an inch. I'm bringing my legs just out high enough before they actually lock out to keep tension on my quads. At the same time, I'm pulling myself into the chair as well. This is our first hamstring movement. This is a standing hamstring curl on the leg extension. This clip is speeded up. It's twice the speed. I never usually do it this fast. Again, with this movement, all you're doing is setting the machine up so it comes just on your calf. So when you're rolling the machine up, it goes onto your heel. Again, if you can see my toes here, I know it's a bit hard because it's so fast. If you see my toes, they are not moving, they are not protruding, they are not pointing in any direction, they are staying straight. If at any point in this movement you find yourself pointing your toes or pushing through your calves, you need to lower the weight and really focus on form. What you want is your foot to just be straight the whole entire way through. Easiest way to do this movement is try and bring your heel to your butt, and just try and get your heel to your butt, and that will really focus on the actual isolating the hamstring itself. Now, I've started to change my workouts up recently. I usually just do all the exercises you see in here today. I do 4 sets of 12 reps of, other than squats. Again, compound movements, I always stay a heavier weight for less reps. But I'm starting to change my workouts up. So in my arm workout, you saw me do a drop set. In this, I'm doing somewhat the same. This is a hamstring seated hamstring curl. What I'm doing is I'm doing 27 kilos for 12 reps, immediately dropping the weight to about 18 kilos, and I'm doing another 12 reps. Again, this is just because this is my last hamstring exercise, and I do 5 sets of these, sorry, not 4. I did 3 quad movements at about 4 sets, and I do 2 hamstring movements at about 5 sets, and I do a sort of mini drop set here. The reason for that is because I like to burn out my muscle fibres as much as I can. Now, if I'm just doing 12 reps straight, I can do more. My muscles can push further, my body can push further. So I won't always do this. I'll do this mainly towards the end of my workouts, just to kind of burn out as much as I can. So I'm doing 27 kilos, 12 reps, immediately dropping the weight to 18 kilos, and doing another 12 reps just to completely burn out the muscle and max everything out. Now, this may not look like I'm struggling much, but I am absolutely dying on the inside. It is so good for really just getting an insane pump in your muscles. Again, with this movement, I'm just focusing on bringing my heels to my arse, really focus on keeping my feet straight and not pushing through my calves. And I'm pulling myself into the bench at the same time, just to keep my arse on the chair, so I'm not coming up and arching my back, because that can cause, for me personally, can cause some lower pain in my back. We then go on. I think I only got 1 set of this, and I think I do anywhere, I think it's 12 to 20 reps. I'm either thinking it's either 12, 15 or 20. I do 3 or 4 sets of this. This is just a calf extension. Again, very simple movement. I like to implement calves at the end of my workouts just to really burn them out, essentially. It's such a tiny muscle group, and it doesn't require that much attention. Because it is such a tiny muscle group, you're able to train it more frequent than what you are your major muscle groups. Your major muscle groups being obviously your chest, back, and your legs. We'll go into depth of that on the explanation video for my actual workout split. We're then coming on to our abs. Now, I do 2 ab exercises. This is a rope crunch. Now, the thing with abs is you see a lot of people doing bodyweight exercises. That is great. That will burn fat. That will get your abs visible. Don't take that out of context. You don't have to train abs to get abs to burn fat around your abdomen. That comes from just calories in versus calories out. But again, we'll go through that in another video. Now, adding some form of resistance to your ab training, like weighted sit-ups, Russian twists, or ab crunches like this, or leg raises with a plate or a dumbbell in your leg, really helps develop your abs rather than just strip the fat away to show them through. If you ever see, I'll try and put some pictures on the screen if I can find them, but a picture of just someone with regular abs, and then the kind of abs you'll get from, well-developed abs that you get from doing some form of resistance training on your abs. Now, we're coming to the last exercise. This is just some hanging leg raises. All I'm doing with this is making sure that my shoulders are kind of retracted, and I'm bringing my knees up so my arse is pointing towards the camera. So I'm really involving the lower abdomen at this part. Abdomen? Pretty sure that's not the muscle group. The abdominals, the lower abdominals. And I'm really focusing on coming up, coming to the bottom, going for a full stop, and then coming back up and not involving much momentum. So we're going to bring this video to an end. I hope you found this video informational and it gave you some tips and advice on how to structure your leg workouts. Again, unfortunately, I'm going to try and get something out this Friday for 5 Fridays. If nothing comes out, just next week I've got 3 videos coming out again, so there is going to be content coming. It's just moving, it's a bit of a bitch at the moment. But anyway, if you enjoyed it, if you liked it, if it helped you in any way, give it a like, give some comments down on stuff you want to see, any exercises you want explaining a bit more, and subscribe, because there will be a ton more content coming, and I will see you either Friday or next week. Take it easy, guys.